Yes, the Liberals, Mr. Duke Street. Salute the victory in that Yorkshire by-election.
Good job their supporters can't hear him. Mostly non-conformists and teetotalers.
Yes, well, Mrs. Trotter's just joined, which probably accounts for it.
Mrs. Trotter? I always put her down as a Tory.
Oh, political impartiality, Mr. Starr, that's what you need in this job. It's best not to declare yourself. You lose out on tips if you do.
Hey, come in! Come in, get in there. Get in there, you rascal.
No, taxi.
Oh, stay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Stay.
Thank you.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening.
Excuse me, madam, is that an animal you have in that basket?
Oh, yes, it is. It's a cat.
And that accounts for it. You don't usually startle guests in that manner.
Oh, good. Well, I'm supposed to be meeting Sir James Roslin here, but I'm rather late.
Sir James? Oh, yes, madam, he'll be with the Liberal Party.
Yes, that's right. He is.
With the Liberal Party, madam, celebrating the by-election result in Mr. Dugan Street.
Oh, I see. Well, would you mind telling him that I'm here? My name is Mrs. Strickland.
Ah, yes, the lady's lending his rooms to. As I've been informed, excuse me.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Merriman.
It's all right, Taxi.
Mrs. Strickland's arrived.
Side they were on. I'm wondering. All times they were on. Tell her that. You know the Duke of York. I mean, it's like history again. What I want to know, Mrs. T, is whether you're for us or against us.
Well, it's your wine I'm drinking, Mr. Dougie, so I better be for you. Tonight, at any rate. Mind you, I prefer them Tories, because they're gentlemen. So you lot, ain't you? Some of you.
What a wicked snob you are.
Well, you don't want them Labourites getting in, do you? Over here, Thompson. Anyway, this by-election of yours, flesh in the pan, innit? One sparrow don't make a summer.
We're expecting Mr. Balfour to resign within weeks. We'll have no choice. We'll have a Liberal government by Christmas.
Now, what do you say to that?
Good for you. You're going to be Prime Minister then, Mr. Dougie.
Well, you better mind your P's and Q's.
Excuse me, Sir James. Mrs. Strickland has arrived and was asking for you.
Excuse me, George, my guest's arrived. I was going to settle her in.
Sir James has been fidgeting about all evening. And some of the old fox has got himself a mistress.
Oh, Sir Rosie, that's not very likely, is it?
That's what I thought. Is she a lady? Chorus girl? Is she?
Oh, come on, Taxi. There. Don't be frightened. Come on. Oh, there. No, there's no doggy here. There. You're hungry. Come on, let's have some fruit, eh? There.
About the cat, madam, have you made arrangements?
Oh, no, I haven't. Oh, dear, aren't they allowed? Dogs, but not cats. Is that the rule?
Oh, you mean Fred, madam? Well, he's my dog, a special case, a watchdog, you understand.
To see off unwelcome guests.
Yes, madam.
Come on.
Well, if there's anything you require, madam, Star's the name, 2 hours. You'll usually find me downstairs in the hall.
Oh, yes, thank you, Star. There.
Diana, my dear.
Oh,
welcome to the Bentinck.
Dear James. Oh, this is perfect. But have I turned you out? I have, haven't I? Are you out on the street?
I'm round the corner in Albemarle Street with my brother, so I'm on hand if you should need me. How's Harry?
Oh, he's much the same. He's talking more clearly, and he can move his right arm a little. The doctors are quite hopeful.
Ah, good. Oh, here's Mrs. Trotter, in whose capable hands I shall be leaving you. This is Mrs. Strickland.
How do you do, Mrs. Trotter?
How do you do? Oh, you brought a cat, have you?
Yes. You've no objection, have you?
No, as long as his hair's trained.
Oh, yes, she is. She won't make a mess, I promise you. She's very good. And I rather need her, you see, as a model for my illustrations.
Oh, artist, are you?
Yes,
We had Walter Sickert here in the summer, in number 8. Or was it in here? Yes, it was, in this very room.
No, I think I was here in the summer, Mrs. Trotter. I've been here for 6 months now. Oh, I seem to remember Walter Sickert was somewhere around.
Oh, heavens, I'm nowhere near that standard. It's rather daunting.
Brought a maid, have you?
No.
Oh, well, I'll send Mary up. She'll do the unpacking.
Oh, thank you.
Sir James, why don't you bring your lady friend along to the party? The cocky Liberals. Always like to welcome me new guests with a glass of wine. Somebody else is paying for it, that's all the better, innit?
Well, why not?
Right, come on.
Fine.
far end, you know. I couldn't hear what they were all saying.
I couldn't hear him. Could you?
No, I don't
Well, you must admit, George, our campaign tactics couldn't be faulted.
Yes, but the Tories scarcely left their tents. The field was ours from the start.
When they did venture, they found themselves so unpopular they retreated again as fast as possible.
Well, not very fast. Most of them were bent double with sciatica.
Yes,
I've never seen such a beautiful thing. There was nobody under 75. But it's all right.
Here are Mrs. Strickland. Get that, don't you? Sir James.
Thank you very much.
Come and meet my friend Mr. Duggan. He might be Prime Minister one day.
Balfour was only holding on because he hoped to drain us financially by-election.
Well, the delay helped us. We've got policies now. Free trade, social welfare. We're ready.
Excuse me.
Mr. Duggan,
Yes,
this is Mrs. Strickland. Come to join us for a walk.
Mrs. Strickland, I'm so pleased to meet you. James was talking about you earlier with such esteem and affection, arousing my curiosity to fever pitch. Welcome to this gathering of distinguished but inebriate liberals.
Oh, thank you.
May I ask what brings you to this notorious establishment?
She's come here to work. She's an artist, like me in my own way. I'm above politics.
I must confess I don't give much thought to them either. Maybe we should.
I don't see why. Better leave them to people like James and myself who've got nothing better to do with their lives. What sort of artist are you?
I do illustrations for children's magazines.
That you sell them.
Oh, yes.
Fascinating. James, you never told me any of this. Oh, what does your husband say? Does he encourage you?
I think he's amused.
Amused? Oh. Is that enough?
Yes, for me it is.
Of course it is. How many husbands can you think of who let their wives come up to London, do what they want to without interference? I think it's bloody marvellous.
Yes, indeed. Perhaps you'd allow me to see your work sometime, Mrs. Strickland.
Yes, of course, if you really want to.
Now then, George, she's here on my recommendation to work in peace and quiet.
Oh, good heavens, I'm not going to make a nuisance of myself. Just a glance. I shall be satisfied.
I think a glance is allowed. Hey, Sir James? I'm open for a glance myself. I don't see any objection to a cat. I don't see it written in the rules anywhere.
Well, it was Mr. Merriman I was thinking of, madam. He has a distinct aversion to cats. They bring on his asthma.
Oh, that's a pity.
Something I've endured since childhood, and most regrettable. But if it's your wish the cat should stay...
Yes, it is, rather. No one's asking you to look after it.
Oh, no, but there is the problem of serving meals in the ladies' room.
Well, if you can't do it because of your... whatever it is, well, Mary will have to do it, won't she?
Mary, she
It's also a bit unsettling for Fred, madam, knowing there's a feline on the premises. Gets him rather excitable.
Yeah, I can see that's a problem.
Oh. Well, thank you, madam.
For Fred, I mean. Because if the cat goes, Fred'll have to go. You can't have one rule for the guests and another for the staff. So I'd drop the old blinking subject if I was you.
I'm sorry, George, there's no chance. She's a lady of unblemished virtue, devoted to her husband, extremely happy and quite incorruptible.
If she's as virtuous as you claim, why such concern for her?
Because I want her left alone, that's all.
Are you in love with her?
Good Lord, no, of course not.
Why not? I'd admire your taste.
Well, actually, some time ago,
Uh-huh.
but that was ages ago. Unfortunately, she accepted my offer of friendship in lieu. A friendship which I treasure most dearly.
Now you really do intrigue, because there's only one circumstance in which you, James, a man of the highest moral principle, would have tried to sneak a virtuous woman away from her husband, and that's if she were unhappy with her husband.
Nonsense. Rubbish. Wrong as usual. They're devoted, I tell you. You won't succeed.
16 and 17 empty. Thank you, Mary. Yes, Mum.
What's Diana Strickland doing here?
Oh, you know her, do you, Major?
Yes, charming woman. Walked out on old Harry at last, has she?
Hey?
Always on the cards. Don't know what she saw in him. Oh, a pleasant enough fellow to go shooting with, convivial, but don't ever lend him money. Not that I ever did, of course. He's got creditors chasing him all over Lincolnshire. His stroke, they say, was a stroke of luck. What? Keep the hounds at bay for a while.
So that's the way the wind blows, eh? I don't like ladies who've left their husbands. They're trouble.
Actually, talking of money, that's what I came to see you about.
Oh, yeah.
I had a little come through this morning. I thought it only right that you should have it, after all your kindness. Help put the record straight a bit. Only sorry it can't do more.
Well, it's the thought that counts, isn't it, Major? It's nice of you to think of me before the GGs.
Oh, stop.
Mary, is Mrs. Strickland in?
Yes, sir, she's...
Thank you. I'm sorry I'm interrupting.
Oh, no, not at all.
I can come back some other time.
Oh, no, please stay, Mr. Duggan. You will forgive me if I don't stop for a moment. The cat's sitting just right.
Ah.
Well, please take a look at anything you want to. There's not much, I'm afraid.
These are awfully good.
Well, at least I've got my foot in the door.
And is this our heroine?
Yes, frightful creature. Always lecturing everybody on how to behave. Here, she's telling the little kittens they mustn't chase mice because we're all God's creatures. What an insult.
What would you rather be doing?
Oh, something of my own. I've got a book in mind about the animals I remember when I was a little girl in Canada. Beavers, wolves, and grizzly bears. My father used to tell me wonderful stories about them. I've passed them on to my daughter.
Canada?
Yes, do you know it?
No.
I was raised there. My father was a pioneer, beautiful man, always adventuring. He died at 42.
Have you got any drawings of these famous animals?
Yes, I have. But they're over there in that folder.
May I?
Yes, of course.
Oh, but these are really good. I mean it. You ever shown them to a publisher?
Oh, no. They're not ready yet.
Yes, they are. I've got a good friend who's a publisher, a man called Alfred Hardwick. Would you mind if I showed them to him?
Well, no, but I don't want charity. You must believe in them.
I do believe in them. They have character. What's this fella doing?
His name is Maboo. Oh? He's the big chief, but his powers are failing. He's trying to get the others to follow him, but they won't go, so he's going off to his cave alone.
My God, he looks like a Tory politician. Fascinating.
Do you really think so?
Yes. Now, what time do you stop for luncheon?
Oh, I can't stop.
Oh, but you must. You must stop and come out with me. James Rosslin gave me strict orders to take care of you, so I'm taking you to the Savoy.
Oh, I can't go to the Savoy dressed like this.
Then you must go and change, mustn't you? I shall stay here and become better acquainted with my new friends. Off you go. Oh, start a cab, will you?
Very good, sir.
Good morning, Toby.
Hey, good morning. Oh, good morning, Mrs. Strickland. Settled in, have you?
Oh, yes, thank you.
If there's anything I can do for you, anything you need...
Oh, thank you. Hello, James. I'm being kindly taken to luncheon at the Savoy.
What? Savoy? I just came in to see how you were.
She's extremely well, James.
Oh, perhaps you could come with us.
Oh, no, I...
Cab, sir. Thank you, Star. I'm disappointed you can't come, James. We must try and catch you another time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Star.
Well, that was fast off the mark.
I found the law rather too easy again, really. There was a by-election at Rye a year ago. I stood as the Liberal and romped home, rather to the surprise of a Tory alderman. I have an enormous belief in myself, as you may have guessed.
My husband stood for Parliament once, as a Tory, but he was defeated.
Tell me about your husband.
What do you want to know?
Whatever you want to say.
Well, I was 23 when I met him. He was 40. I just arrived from Canada with a widowed mother, penniless. Rather a bleak future. He seemed in every way the perfect grand seigneur. I owe him everything.
Do you?
Yes, he gave me a proper home, beautiful daughter, place in society. What more could I want?
I don't know, tell me.
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Well, you want his complete recovery from his illness.
Oh, well, yes, naturally I want that.
Is it likely?
Oh, yes. Yes, he is recovering.
Without you beside him?
Is that a rebuke?
Well, not in the least. It's an observation.
Well, he is well enough to leave him now, and I have to work. There are distractions with illness in the house. I need to be free of them.
And here I am distracting you with impudent questions. But you must allow me the simple joy of being intrigued by you. I've always found conjugal fidelity a very appealing quality in a woman.
I've never seen him before. I've read about him.
Are you married, Mr. Duggan?
My wife died 5 years ago.
Oh. Were you happy? Oh, forgive me. That was impertinent of me.
Not in the least. That's a natural question to ask. Yes. Isabel and I were very happy.
Do you have children?
Yes, I got a boy. He's 20 now, up at Balliol. Have some more Cointreau.
Oh, no. No, I really think I should be going now.
Diana. I may call you Diana. Oh, I'm sorry. You're concerned for your reputation.
Well, we are rather conspicuous here.
In that case, let's go straight back to the Bentinck and discuss our relationship in private.
Our relationship?
What it's to be.
Oh, no, really, Mr. Duggan. Well, you're rushing ahead of me. I wasn't aware that there was any relationship.
Well, you know, two people lunching alone together at the Savoy usually implies some sort of relationship.
Oh, but you must forgive my naivety. Oh, if I had thought for one moment that by accepting your kind offer to luncheon that assumptions were being made.
Oh, but heavens no, you're perfectly free to go out as innocent as you came in.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm relieved.
But not before I've told you that you've captured my heart. From the moment you came into my room last night. When you had to know, I couldn't conceal it.
Oh, no. Oh, no, Mr. Duggan, it's impossible. It's out of the question. I'm in love with my husband.
Then what are we to do?
Well, I don't know what you're going to do, but I must go back to my painting.
Yes, pussy and her moralizing, of course, forgive me. Widowers are prone to exotic passions, and you're perfectly right to treat them with the utmost circumspection.
Oh, no, it's not a question of that. I'm touched, not to say overwhelmed, by your feelings. I can't think what I did to deserve them. I'm only sorry that you've misjudged me. I'm truly not accustomed to adventures.
So we're told.
By whom?
By James. Your reputation for virtue and loyalty preceded you. And if we're not to be lovers, will you accept my humble and sincere offer of friendship?
Yes. That I would like.
Then it's settled.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
Oh, good Lord, I'd never have told you if I could have imagined your vengeful delight. You're like the small boy who can't have the peach himself and won't let anyone else have it.
She simply reaffirmed my faith in the decency of marriage.
What? That comes odd from a man who's ducked marriage all his life.
And there's too much of your sort of behaviour going on and upheld as respectable, whereas I'm sorry, I find your behaviour reprehensible and degrading.
Damn it, will you never realise that man's state is not naturally monogamous, neither is woman's? Dear Isabel had 4 lovers to my certain knowledge. Did I begrudge them to her? Certainly not. We understood. That dalliance gives energy, which we need, damn it, to function at all.
Schoolboy talk, adolescent daydreams. And as far as this particular lady is concerned...
Your daydream, your unrequited passion.
I revel in your defeat.
Well, I haven't been entirely routed. I'm on the same footing as you now. She's accepted my offer of friendship in lieu.
These are awfully silly, Mamma.
Yes, well, they're not for your eyes, my darling. They're for little folk.
Even when I was little, I don't think I'd have cared for them much. Oh.
Is your tooth still hurting?
Yes, my gum aches.
Oh, dear.
Bless you.
Thank you, miss. This arrived by the midday post, madam.
Oh, thank you. Oh, poor Merriman, have you got a cold?
No, madam.
God bless you.
Thank you, miss.
All right, Merriman. These have arrived from Sir James Rosling. Give you inspiration, I expect. Open the place up a bit. Looks like a proper studio now, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Oh, may I introduce you to my daughter, Sophie?
How'd you do, Sophie?
How'd you do?
You came up to see the dentist, didn't you, darling?
Oh, that's nasty, that is. What you going to do now to make up for it, eh?
Mama's going to take me to a museum.
Oh, Lord, I forgot.
Museum, eh? Which one?
The natural history. Oh, Mama, you did promise.
Is that the one with all them stuffed animals?
Yes. There's a dinosaur.
Oh, I've never been there.
Haven't you?
No, that's something I would have put right, I think. What about you and me going together and leaving your mother to get on with her work?
Oh, yes, please. Can I, Mama?
Oh, well, darling, I'm sure Mrs. Trotter's awfully busy.
No, I'm not. It's just what I feel like. I'll tell you what, we'll get the Major to take us. He says he knows all about that kind of thing. Right, get your coat. Don't stop for the sandwiches. We'll have a big tea when we get back.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. Right. Have a lovely time, darling.
Come on, Sophie.
£2 bob to win. Duke's Meadow, 3:30 in Newbury.
Right you are, Major. I'll slip down to see Robert in the George at lunchtime.
Ready, Major?
Leave it till later.
Right, off we go.
Thanks, Zoe. Good morning, Mrs. T.
Morning. Major's taking us to the museum.
Well done.
This is Sophie, Mrs. Strickland's daughter, by the way.
Sophie, my dear child, how do you do?
How do you do?
How I wish I could come with you, but I must see your mamma for a moment or two. Well, do have the most enormous fun, won't you?
Right, off we go.
Oh, gentlemen. Sure. Bring a bottle of champagne up to Mrs. Strickland's room, will you? The mum's 93.
Very good, sir.
Thank you. Diana? I walked straight into Hardwick's office. I laid out your drawings on his desk. He expressed immediate approval. I knew he would. He wants to meet you. I've arranged for the three of us to meet at the Savoy on Tuesday.
Oh.
I take it you have no objection.
Oh, no.
I shall...
No, that's wonderful.
I'm going to act as your lawyer, get you a suitable advance.
Advance?
Yep.
How much?
Well, a few hundreds anyway.
Oh. Oh.
Diana, my dear. What's the matter?
Now, here we have elephants.
Have we now, Major? You don't say.
May we see the dinosaur, please?
The dinosaur. Right. This way. Follow me.
It's a funny-looking dinosaur.
Ah, yes. Must have taken the wrong turn somewhere.
Well, it's easy enough to do in Africa.
Look at those funny little birds.
They're red-billed oxpeckers. They're picking the parasites off the back of the kudu.
What's a parasite?
Hotel guests will stay on and don't pay the bills. No offence, Major.
You do know an awful lot, don't you, Major?
Yes. First hand. Out there, you see. Zulu War in 79. Isandrolwana. Rorke's Drift. Those are Dom palms.
Did you know your husband had gambling debts?
Well, yes, but not the size of them. Oh, it's my fault. I should have realized.
I gather the estate is mortgaged.
Oh, yes, to the hilt. When we had no son. My husband felt it wasn't worth keeping anyway. We might as well enjoy it.
What do you do for income?
But this is our income. That's why I'm here. But I simply can't work fast enough even to pay the household bills.
Court proceedings on Tuesday, I see. Well, this can be settled anyway.
What? Oh, no, you mustn't. Oh, no, I couldn't accept anything from you. And it's over £400.
See it as my investment in Mabu and his friends.
Oh, no, Mr. Duggan. No, I couldn't accept anything from you. I'd rather ask Sir James first. I'll never be able to pay you back.
Yes, of course you will. There you are. Take it, please. There's a seal on our friendship.
Have you ever shot a lion, Major?
No. Tigers. India.
I remember one brute, Bengal tiger man-eater, the scourge of the neighborhood, killed 17 villagers. The local Maharaja offered a reward for someone to get it, so off we went. You see, we had to get this tiger before the monsoon. We were stalking him on one of these. Safe up there, you see.
Safe?
Yes. Tigers leave elephants alone. Myself and this other chap up at the howdah. That's the thing you sit in. With the mahout up front, barking orders to him in Hindi.
Do you think he's fibbing?
Of course he is. Just a bit.
We stalked the devil all day. Finally caught up with him at dusk and shot him clean between the eyes.
So you got the reward then, did you, Major?
What? Well, it wasn't a large amount.
एक बहादुर अंग्रेज जो शेर और हाथी का शिकार कर चुका है।
एक बहादुर अफसर मालूम होता है।
ओहो।
जी जनाब, आज सेक बार हिंदुस्तानी सुनकर कितनी खुशी हुई।
हिंदी सुन के तो हमें भी बहुत खुशी हुई।
नमस्ते। मेरा नाम मेजर स्मिथ बार्टन है। जब तक आप यहाँ हैं, मुझे आप बिहार के मंत्र दिखाने की इजाज़त दें। और आप मेरे साथ।
I pressed my claim too soon. It's a fault of mine. I see something, I go for it. I lack patience. You see, I succeed more often than not. Since Isabel died, I filled my life with a sort of frenzied activity of politics and the arts and travel. None of it satisfies me. They say I have the makings of a formidable statesman. I believe it myself. But as I feel now at this moment, I'd exchange it all for one day, an hour of your love. I'm breaking our bargain, you'll say, our pact of friendship, but love grows out of friendship. They're part of the same root, so I say the bargain holds. You have fine feelings which I admire, I could never aspire to. But you can't fight alone, you need help. And I can offer you help and protection. And my love for as long as you want it. I've got a small house in the country on the edge of the New Forest. We could go for walks, dream up your book. This very weekend, what do you say?
Mama, I've had a glorious time. Mrs. Trotter's really wonderful. And the Major's so clever. He knew all about the animals, and he spoke Hindi with 2 Indian gentlemen.
Oh, darling.
Mama, have you been crying?
Oh, no. No, I've been working. There, look, I finished 3 sketches. Do you like them? Now we must get you to the station. I'll just get my coat.
Oh, Mama, can't I stay one more day? The Major said he'd take me to Madame Tussaud's tomorrow.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. It's out of the question. It's all arranged. Papa's expecting you. He'll have missed you. You know he's not been well. Now, come on, darling.
Well, when are you coming home?
Me? Soon.
How soon? It's horrible without you.
Oh, darling, you know I have to work. Now, please, don't be difficult. I'll be home as soon as I can. I promise you.
You promised to take me to the museum and you didn't.
Now, Soph! Now, darling, please, do as you're told. Come on, come on. We'll miss your train.
It's incredible.
Oh, come on, Sir James, ain't that bad. It's only a weekend in the country. It's the best thing that could have happened, if you ask me. Her husband's no good to her. You can't expect her to work herself to death up there, keep the family going. She needs friends. I shouldn't have been through all that myself. It's no joke, I tell you.
Mrs. Trotter, you don't understand the implications of this affair. We're about to fight a general election. Any scandal should get out now.
Who said anything about a scandal? It's just a bit of fun, that's all.
My dear Mrs. Trotter, you don't know this lady at all, if you believe that. She's not the sort of person to indulge in fun, as you call it. She's romantic, foolish, yes, but she's also loyal, steadfast. There'll be no going back after this weekend. I fear for all the parties concerned.
Yeah, well, you needn't worry about the Liberal Party. They'll hear nothing from behind these walls, I'll make sure of that.
Thank you, Star.
Tapsy, Tapsy, there. Did you miss me? Oh, did they take care of you?
Star is a fox, do you think?
No, a beaver.
And Merriman's an old heron.
What about the Major?
A buzzard. No. That's James. James.
Oh, that's unkind.
A friendly buzzard.
Do you think I can get them all to sit for me?
No. Observe them from a distance. They'll never notice.
I shall remember this weekend forever. I've never been so happy. Thank you.
10 minutes and come and have dinner in my room. God, what rubbish. Come on, James. Even if it did get out, do you seriously believe it'll have the faintest effect on the outcome of this election? It's a foregone conclusion.
All right, consider your own position then.
My position?
The moment your name figures highly on everybody's list.
So I should hope. I'm expecting something in the Board of Trade, by the way.
My God, your insufferable arrogance.
Everybody fools about. Ask with Lloyd George, for God's sake. I see no thorns in their path.
They don't fool around with a woman like Diana.
You're jealous.
There's nothing personal in this.
Nothing personal. My God, I believe you deprived me of my rightful job in the next administration out of sheer damn vindictive spite.
Is that your opinion of me?
Yes, it is.
Very well. Well, just let me say this, George. That no man, however brilliant he may consider himself to be, is greater than the party that he stands for. So just be warned, that's all.
Wait! Will you personally tell Campbell Bannerman?
Of course not. But don't blame me if he should find out for himself, that's all.
Oh, for God's sake, James, stay and have a drink. We've known each other far too long for this sort of wrangling. Sit down. She'll be along in a moment. She'd like to see you. She talked about you a great deal. She's fond of you. You've been a very good friend to her. And my God, she must have needed it.
Thank you. You know about the marriage, then?
Oh, yes. It all came tumbling out. Of course, I'm sure she's to blame for some of the trouble. She's not an easy woman. She's too highly strung. But she's utterly adorable, as you know. I'm besotted by her. Damned inconsiderate husband. What is it that makes men neglect beautiful women? Do you know, for the last 5 years, they haven't even... What a waste. And you want me to give her up for the half-baked sensibilities of a few dried-up low churchmen? Oh, my darling. Come and meet your old friend, who knows all about us.
Hello, James. How nice to see you.
My dear.
What have you two been talking about?
The insignificance of politics. Top right, Star.
5 minutes to 1.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Trotter has lent me a hat. Do you approve?
It's me church hat. Here, tilt it a bit.
What?
Yeah, this better.
Yes, my dear, it's splendid, but come along one leg.
Oh,
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Star.
Right, Mary, now's your chance to get a room tidied up. It's a terrible mess.
They're so happy together, aren't they? I think it's lovely.
While it lasts.
You've changed my life. With you, I can achieve anything.
Can you achieve a book in the time that Hardwick set you?
I'll work day and night. The only break I'll allow myself is the time I give to you, my angel.
Yes. Well, now, I shall have to go away quite soon. The election's set for January. I'm needed in my constituency.
How long for?
2, 3 weeks.
Oh, I wish I could come with you.
I wish you could too, my
This
darling.
place will be torture without you.
Oh, nonsense. We both have work to do.
Yes. I've made too many demands on you.
No, you haven't.
You do love me.
I adore you.
And you'll go on loving me. I've no life without you now.
Diana.
Oh, my love, hold me. Don't go.
There. We'll write to each other every day. The time will fly.
Madam? Madam? Haven't you been to bed? You wear yourself out.
Oh,
Some tea for you.
Oh, cute.
How's it coming on then? Oh, I like this one. Looks a bit like Mr. Merriman. Not very nice campaigning weather. It snowed in the night. I'll run you a nice hot bath, is it?
What? Oh, yes, thank you, Mary.
Diana, this is madness. You must come to your senses.
I can't give him up. You know what my life has been like. Will you deny me this happiness? Well, of course I don't want to hurt Harry. Though in his present condition, I don't think he'd notice. He's not expected to live long. If we have to, we'll wait.
Do you think George will marry you?
Will that make you happy? We'll wait.
Have you discussed it? Has he mentioned marriage in one of his letters?
You don't propose in letters, Joan.
Just as I thought.
Of course we'll be married. He speaks of our future together on every page. Though I really don't see why I have to discuss it with you.
And Sophie, what about her?
Well, she'll come and live with us, of course. She'll adore George.
He's always expressed to me his strong dislike of children. His relationship with his own son bears that up. They don't speak to each other. You're living in a dream.
I'm surprised you haven't told me about his reputation with other women.
Yes, my God, yes.
I know already. You couldn't expect him to remain celibate after his wife died?
Oh, long before that, I assure you.
What?
I could give you a whole list of women.
No.
The plain fact is that George Duggan, for all he may seem to be charming and brilliant, is nothing more than a cheap opportunist. And that's not just my opinion.
How dare you talk like that about him behind his back? I thought you were his friend. Star, could you post this for me? Thank you. Oh, and Mary forgot to bring up my post this morning. May I have it, please?
No, I'm afraid there were no letters for you this morning, madam.
Are you sure?
I'm positive, madam. I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you.
And Mrs. Strickland mustn't hear a word of it. Right?
Yes, madam.
This will.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doc.
Here, Major. You seen this? That Mr. Duggan being seen in Deauville with the Mrs. Munro?
As a matter of fact, it had caught my eye, yes. And funnily enough, I met a colleague of his in the club this morning, a fellow called Foster. He was talking about it. Apparently this Mrs. Munro...
Yeah, what about her?
She's got a bit of a reputation for this kind of thing. She's married 2 politicians, both of whom died before they reached the cabinet, and she's looking for a third. According to Foster, Duggan fills the bill rather nicely.
Blimey. He's 48, says here. And a widow. Sounds like an old front compared with Mrs. Strickland. What's he playing at?
Politics, I think it's called. Mrs. Munro has money, influence.
Yeah, well, I was coming back to London tonight. I was supposed to be cooking dinner for him. Honestly, my heart's not in it.
I've heard he's back already. He's been seen in the Reform Club and at the theatre last night with Mrs. Munro.
Eh?
It's a tricky one, this. But my advice, for what it's worth, would be to tell her about this. Soften the blow a bit. Kinder in the long run.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mrs. Strickland. Oh, God, look, you don't mean for certain that they could have met by accident. You don't want to believe newspapers. They print anything for gossip. He'll be coming back soon. He'll explain it all.
He won't come.
Oh, of course he will. He's honourable, is Mr. Dougie. He ain't cancelled. Here, Right Honourable MP for Bleeding Rye. Here, you've been working too much. That's your trouble. Not going to bed now. That's not clever, you know. Your nerves is on edge.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm sorry.
This better. Here, you come on and get some rest, eh? Come on. Then you make yourself nice for him, eh? He wouldn't want to see you looking like this now, would he? Hey? I'm going to bring you up a nice hot cup of tea, right?
Yes, thank you.
Diana, my dearest, I'm so sorry I've kept you waiting. Am I in disgrace?
What a beautiful dress.
Thank you. Would you like a drink?
Yes, please. Shall I help myself?
Oh, no, no.
Oh, what a day! I shall be glad when this damned election's over. How have you been? I've missed you. Have you been working well? I'm dying to see what you've done.
They're over there, but they can wait. I've missed you. I've got you a present.
Mm-hmm.
It's good luck for the election.
Diana, you shouldn't be spending money on me. What is it? Oh, the splendid. Thank you, Diana. I shall wear them on polling day. I haven't got anything for you. I had no time.
Oi, Mr. Starr. All's well. It was wrong, that newspaper. They like lovebirds.
Thank you, Merriman. Will you convey my thanks to Mrs. Trotter for a lovely dinner?
Thank you, madam.
And for me too, Merriman.
Very good, sir.
Yes, I feel much better. A relief from those provincial hotels.
And Deauville?
Deauville? Now, how on earth did you know that I'd been to Deauville?
It was in the newspaper.
Was it? Good Lord.
I was hoping I might get a postcard.
Do you know, I bought one. I forgot to send the damn thing. I found it in my pocket when I got back.
Why did you go?
I went because I was invited by one of my constituents. It would have been impolitic to refuse. I enjoyed it, actually. It was a rest from speechifying.
The newspaper referred to a Mrs. Munro who was seen in your company.
Did it not?
It spoke of a romance. Oh, I paid no attention, of course, but when your letters stopped coming for a while, I wasn't sure.
Romance? With Dorothy, good heavens.
Dorothy?
Diana, I can't deceive you. Well, oh, damn. The newspaper is right in the main. No, a romance is hardly the word I'd have used. I've known the lady for a great many years. Romance is something special. Romance is what you and I... yes, Merriman, what is it?
Coffee, sir.
Coffee, do we want coffee?
But why didn't you tell me at once? Why this awful pretense?
I couldn't put it in a letter, and this evening... Diana, my dear.
Oh, yes, thank you, Merriman. We'll pour it ourselves.
Very good, madam.
Diana, believe me, my feelings for you were genuine. I mean, they still are. I'd far rather spend my life with you. The fact is, we're the victims of circumstance.
Victims, yes. You took me like a dog picks up a bone. Didn't you realize that you changed my life?
Good heavens, that's simply not true. I only helped you onto your feet again, that's all. You've got strength now. You've got a book to finish, you've got a belief in yourself again.
Belief in myself? You've crushed my belief. Why? Because you feared a scandal? You said you were above such things.
Of course that's not the reason. If it were so, then you'd have every right to chastise me. No. It was you I feared for. You've got a sick husband for whom you still feel loyalty. Oh, yes, you do. However difficult it all may be. If you were to abandon him now when he needs you most of all, well, how do you think that would place you in the eyes of society? You would be an outcast.
Yes, with you beside me.
Yes, God damn it, is that what you wanted, to drag me down?
I see.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, please don't apologize. You've told me the truth. I should be grateful.
I didn't mean to...
Yes, you did mean precisely what you said. I am a leper in society, in your society. I've never really known what society was. I've never really been a part of it. But now I think I do know. It's a skin that people hide in. Small people hide because it puffs them up. It protects them in their vanity. No. I loved you. You opened my eyes to possibilities I'd never even dreamed of. You were the finest man I'd ever known. I worshipped your mind, your body. I trusted you.
It's absurd. I'm a man with frailties.
Yes, you are. That was my mistake. Stupid.
Diana, I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry that you feel like this about me. See, I thought I assumed that... Well, I shan't forget you. Nor my friends in the forest.
She's leaving, ma'am. She rang for me to help her pack.
Well, where's she going? Here. You're going to fight him.
Why? He's not worth fighting.
Of course he is. He's rotten. And the old world should know what he done to you. We don't want him running a blooming country.
It was my fault, Mrs. Trotter. I was blind. Selfish.
Yeah, well, we're all blind sometimes when it comes to bodies. That don't mean we let him trample all over us.
I have no weapons.
No weapons? What's these, then? Evidence, aren't they? Ruddy bombs. Look, Lord Northcliffe comes here. He's a friend of mine. We'll give him to him. He'll know what to do.
Oh, no, that's foolish.
No, it ain't.
Why should I hurt him? He was right in a way. He did help me. He set me on my feet. He got me a publisher. I've much to be grateful for.
Hey?
He lent me money, too.
Money?
It was a debt of my husband's. I must pay him back. That's my first task.
For God's sake. How much?
It was £425. Well, I shall earn it from my book. Now, excuse me. I must return to my husband and daughter. I've neglected them. George was quite right about them. A scandal would harm them. Come on, Tabs. I owe my husband everything. I can't desert him now that he's ill and needs me most. I've been disloyal. And George needs Mrs. Munro.
It's all packed, madam.
Thank you, Mary. These must be burned. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Star. Put those down and find me a cab, would you?
Very good, sir.
And Star. Thank you.
That's very kind of you, sir. And the very best of luck in the election, sir.
Now, Merriman.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, sir.
My dear Mrs. T, I am sorry to be leaving so abruptly after such a long and pleasant stay. You must blame the election, I'm afraid. It seems as if my life is going to be a good deal changed from now on. Would you like me to settle my account?
If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Duggan, I got it ready.
Thank you.
But you won't need that.
What did you say?
You've paid already. In fact, I owe you some £28, 10 shillings, to be precise.
Well, what's this?
The balance on you, what you lent Mrs. Strickland. I'm relieving you of that obligation.
But this is absurd. I can't let you do that. That was a private matter.
Yeah, well, it's my business now. It's best, innit? So you can wipe the old slate clean.
Well, if you insist, Mrs. T.
Will do. And I'd be grateful if you didn't come here again, if you don't mind. Not even if you do get to be Prime Minister.
My God, what terrible tales is she telling?
She ain't said nothing terrible, Mr. Duggan. She stuck up for you. Oh, you won't have no trouble with her. She's a saint, and you're blooming lucky. There's others you couldn't have done that to and got away with it.
Goodbye, Mrs. Trotter.
Cat's here, sir.
Thank you, Star.
the rumpus up there?
It's Mr. Lloyd George celebrating the election victory. And you never guess who's there as well. Mr. Duggan and his fiancée, Mrs. Munro.
Does Mrs. Trotter know?
Oh, yeah, she's there with them. I saw her talking and laughing at these larks. I'd never have believed it, would you, Mr. Merriman?
Oh, I've always said hotels is like hospitals, Mary. They're old bodies. You do your best for them, but once you get your feelings involved...
You lose out on tips, don't you, Fred?
Yes. Mrs. Trotter's Mary.